And now for the rest of the story. Back in the early days of country music, when the Texas dance halls still echoed with the sounds of steel guitars and broken hearts, a young woman walked away from the life she knew. She left behind a man who loved her, trading the quiet comforts of home for the bright lights and smoky temptations of the honky tonks. He was left wondering how a good girl could fall so far. The lament that poured out of him became one of the biggest hits of 1952. It topped the country charts for weeks on end, 15 straight at number one. Millions heard the pain in those words. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. You gave up the only one that ever loved you and went back to the wild side of life. But that's where the tale takes a turn. That melody wasn't born in a Nashville studio or even with that heartbroken singer. No, sir. Its roots ran much deeper, clear back to the 1920s. It first appeared in recordings like Thrills That I Can't Forget, then found new life in the Carter family's I'm Thinking Tonight of My Blue Eyes, and later Roy Acuff's gospel-tinged song The Great Speckled Bird. By the time it reached our 1950s tale, the tune was public domain, free for any soul to borrow. The lyrics for this particular version came from two men who knew the Texas nightlife all too well. William Warren of Cameron, Texas, drew from his painful memory of his own, a honky-tonk angel who couldn't resist the glitter of the wild nightlife. Allie Carter, a pianist, helped shape it. Jimmy Heap and the Melody Masters recorded it first in 1951, but it was a lanky Western swing bandleader from Texas who made it a phenomenon. That bandleader, Hank Thompson. His wife had played him the Heap record, and he cut it his first Capitol session. The Wild Side of Life wasn't even his favorite song, but it struck a chord with the nation, still reeling from war and changing times. Folks who worried the world was going to hell and blamed the faithless women dancing in it. Now you might think that was the end of it. A big hit, a classic. Case closed. But good stories have answers, and this one got a mighty fine one. Just months later, a quiet wife and mother from Louisiana stepped up to the microphone. Kitty Wells was 33 years old, already a veteran of the business, but hardly a household name. Songwriter J.D. Miller handed her a response, same melody, but a different point of view. It wasn't God who made honky-tonk angels, she sang. It was men who led them astray from every broken heart and wondering why. There was usually a man to blame. Her record not only knocked Hank's off the top spot, it outsold it and became the first number one country hit by a solo female artist. It launched Kitty Wells to stardom and opened doors for a generation of women in country music. What started as a man's lament became a conversation. A debate played out on the jukeboxes across America. And now you know the rest of the story. Good day.